What's up, everybody? Welcome to the My RC Life YouTube channel, where we do all things RC and a little bit of everything in between. Let's go! My neighbor here, he's been wanting to get into RC forever. He got himself a Slash and took old Traxxas mic about 2.5 seconds to upgrade it. I threw a different motor in it, geared up his pinion gear a little bit, and introduced him to a LiPo battery. The smile says it all. A little different, huh, Corey?
A lot different. This thing is a lot weight.
Yeah! Nice! Don't you love it when it hits its wheels too? It's like, yes! Don't gotta chase it.
How far a range?
It should go up to that curve, no problem.
I can still go further.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What was you driving?
Oh, you bicycled it for a minute up on two wheels. My baby does boogie for just a brushed motor, boy.
I love it. I am in love.
I bet you it's getting 30 mile an hour. Maybe not. I don't know. It's pretty fast. It's hard to judge because they're so freaking quick and they're little, you know. You almost got to put that speed sensor thing I got on there.
I was just thinking about that.
You're in 50% cutout mode. The LiPo's finally coming down to dead.
I was wondering why it was going a little bit slower.
Alright guys, Traxxas Mike from My RC Life. And as you've seen, my neighbor got a little Slash, a little brushed four-wheel drive Slash. First thing we did is pulled out the 12-turn Traxxas motor. We put in this wet magnet power line motor from Duratrax. Went from a stock 11-tooth pinion to a 15 or 16 tooth pinion, and I made a converter so he could run one of my 2-cell LiPos. And he's already in love. He's ordering a LiPo charger, LiPo batteries, and possibly a brushless system here pretty soon too. I've hooked him up with a few little tools. I made him some body pins that have like some zip ties around them so you can't lose them. And they got like a little handle so you can pull on them. You know, something like this. Made him them. Gave him a little starter toolbox, something like this to keep some of his junk in. And he was out running it, and like I told him, I said, they will break. You're going to break them. And guess what happened? My solder job, this motor got so warm, it actually melted the solder off from the motor contact there. So now we got to do something to fix that. So I thought about just soldering it with more solder, but if a little bit melted, a lot is probably going to melt too. So that ain't going to help. But what I think I'm going to do is put one of these little guys right there on it, because that'll slide over the end, and then just solder that tight, just to kind of maybe help it stay on, and hopefully that won't come off. All right, we already got it unplugged. Okay, get that motor out like that. Woo, she's nice and toasty, I'll tell you that much. Open up our selection of clips here. I don't know if it's going to be the blue ones or the red ones. And the red ones, it's looking like they got a wider stance there. Cut off that old solder out the end. Remove the insulation there. I'm going to pop this red part right off the end so I can open this up just a wee little bit more, like that, so I can get all of this wire in there. Do a little something like that. Bam. Well, that's on there nice and good. Let's get the negative side off of there. There we go. Bend those open again. Get that jammed in there like I did with the positive side. Squeeze it together. Squish each individual side down. Just like that. Then there's going to be little bits of solder left on there. You can either go to the, because you have two ends, you can solder to this side or this side. You can either rotate the motor on here and use those ends, or just stick the wires down there. Or you can just get this warm and get those little knots of solder, melt them back off of there. Or even sometimes you can take your little nipper pliers like this and sometimes nip the solder off. You can file them off sometimes. Well, since I took these off from the end of that, I am going to add just a smidgen of this stuff. Perfect. Same thing with the black. Try to get some of that solder off of there. Slide that positive on right there, just like that. Slide this negative on right there, just like that. Bam. All right, I'm gonna put our motor adjustment screw in here. Adjust our mesh. Okay, that sounds a little too tight. That little click. Perfect mesh. Our gear cover, get that installed on there. Perfect. Yeah. Our motor wires plugged back in. Man, none of this came off right in my hand. I don't like the thought of that. So cover back off, motor back out, and even though the solder melted, I'm going to put a little bit of solder on this to hopefully help hold these on, because they did seem like they wanted to slide off kind of easy. We're just generating a lot of heat with this lipo and this hopped up motor over stock on this hot day. You know, it's beginning of August, really hot out. So you're probably going to have things like that. So we just want to try to keep this on until he can get a brushless ordered and get his temperatures lowered. Get a little bit of flux. Okay, now hopefully those are going to be staying on there. All right, back together again. If you can hear the clicking, perfect. And we've got the red and black in there. Hook that motor back up. All right, time to go and let Corey inspect his new ride and hopefully don't melt off this time. All right, so the neighbor brought me this car back again. Yep. What we had is another. I put these little clips on the end and then soldered them, and they come unsoldered and the clip slid off. And then because there's a little solder on the clip, he couldn't just slide the clip back on. So now I think this is a little bit, this thing just runs too hot. Okay, this motor right here sounds like it rips pretty good. I think I'm going to try to put this one in. Throw our positive on. Negative on. Let's see what it does with the nickel metal battery hooked up. There, that's better. It ain't as fast as the other motor, but this one ain't gonna overheat. The next thing I was gonna do is try to give his body a little bit of extra protection. I'm going to go ahead and clean some of this junk out of the inside. There, that looks pretty clean there, if I don't say so myself. And what I like to do is take some of this Gorilla Tape here. I mean, you can use duct tape, but this stuff is like 3 times as thick as duct tape, and it sticks way better as well. I'm going to put this one right in the middle. I let a little bit overhang like this. Then I kind of stick it to the front bumper like that, just because it holds the tape in place. I'll trim it later. And just kind of push on it. stick it up to the bumper. Push on any corners and crevices like that. Roll it down over the hood. Anytime there's any corners, you know, you got to push up in that corner. You can't just let it roll over top of it. Get that in the corner there. And if it ain't like right down center, it don't really matter. It's just adding extra protection to the body. You don't have to be completely centered. You're just going to be taping the whole body up with tape anyway, so it's not like it's a racing stripe that you're trying to get centered. Okay, just like that. Something like that. Got that off. That's a little long. We'll just kind of fold it up over the edge here. Okay, like that. We'll trim that later. So you can see what I mean by getting it caught and pushed down in all of the cracks and crevices. Here, here, all up in through here and stuff. Okay, then we just keep on going with it. So here's the man himself. He's working on learning some things.
Hello.
He's going to take his tires off and get them hot glued, while I keep on working on getting the body protected. right, guys, so this is all complete. Like I was explaining to Corey here, it's not pretty, but it's on the underside of the car. You're never going to see it, but as you can tell, it sounds so much better than sounds so much better. Thicker, tougher. It's going to last him a lot longer. So Corey went ahead and glued his vent holes on the inside of his rims. So he got to learn how to pull his tires and everything off. And we also put these shock covers on his shocks. I had some of them laying around, so he did those on up. So he's learning little things here and there. All right, so got her all tires filled, body protected, and what else did we do, Corey? I forget. Tires filled, body protected. Oh, motor changed.
And then shock covers.
Oh yeah, the shock covers. Put these new shock covers on all 4 shocks. All right, hopefully that gets him until he gets his brushless motor ordered up. That's it for today, guys. I'm Traxxas Mike from My RC Life, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching another episode of My RC Life. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.